Hello and welcome everybody to an introduction to exploration for EVE Online. My name is Mike Kingswell from EVE University. Before we start this class, I wanted to take 2 seconds to thank CCP for selecting EVE Uni for the official partnership program. Among other benefits, this gives us access to exclusive partnership skins to use in giveaways and events. The first one of these was the beautiful Scope Syndication Astera skin you can see right here. Check EVE University social media for upcoming giveaways. The Astero is one of the ships frequently used by explorers, but you'll be hearing more about ship choices in a bit. This class will provide a basic overview of exploration within EVE. It will show you what you need in the game to go out and explore, be it modules or skills, and we will explain the scanning process and the hacking minigame. So, what is exploration? Exploration deals with cosmic anomalies and cosmic signatures in solar systems. Cosmic anomalies are free to warp to by anyone and include combat sites for PvE fighting or sites for mining and faction warfare complexes for PvP fighting. Cosmic signatures, on the other hand, need to be scanned down before you can warp to them. They include different combat sites, ghost sites, gas sites for gas harvesting, wormholes, relic sites and data sites. These last two are the ones we are interested in today. These different types of sites give us different options for exploring. You can go out in a PvE ship and explore those combat sites for loot, or you can hop into a scanning and hacking ship and look for those relics and data sites. This is what people commonly refer to as exploration. So, what do you need to go out and explore? Well, first of all, you will need a ship. Every one of the 4 Empire factions offers a version of an exploration frigate. These have specific bonuses for scanning down signatures and hacking what is inside of those signatures. As with anything in EVE, the higher your skill for the ship, the bigger the bonus you get. The T1 frigates offer cheap and easy entry into exploration. If you enjoy exploration, you might want to consider an upgrade. T2 versions of the frigates are available and offer a bigger bonus for scanning and hacking, and the use of a covert operations cloaking device. But they require more skill to fly and are also a bigger investment. The same goes for the Sisters of EVE's Astero, one of the most versatile ships in EVE. So, what else do you need? Let's look at the must-have modules. For scanning down signatures and actually pinpointing their location so you can warp to them, you will need a core probe launcher and 8 scanner probes. To hack the containers inside relic and data sites, you will need a relic and a data analyzer respectively. Optional modules, but highly recommended, include a propulsion module like a micro warp drive, since containers within a site can be quite far apart. Nanofiber internal structures and inertia stabilizers will make you align and get into warp faster, because speed is essential to your survival as an explorer. Scanning arrays can boost your scanning skills, and a cargo scanner can allow you to look inside containers so you can scout out the ones with the most loot inside. Here you can see example fits for T1 exploration frigates. They vary a bit in their slot layout and price, but all of them are quite affordable, especially good considering that you will lose one of them sooner or later. Now let's see what skills you need. As mentioned earlier, you need to be able to pilot the right ship. To improve your scanning, you will need the skills Astromatics, Astromatic range finding, pinpointing, and acquisition. Range finding boosts the scanning strength, which is required to scan down sites of a higher level. Pinpointing helps with the scanning process by decreasing deviation of your results, and acquisition will speed up the actual scanning process. For hacking the containers inside of relic and data sites, archaeology and hacking will boost your virus coherence, the hit points of your virus during the hacking minigame. Outside of the game, you as the pilot will need to know the basics of ship navigation, be it system-to-system jumping or how to move inside of a solar system. Bookmarks can help with that. You'll also need to be comfortable with your overview and need to know where to look for what you want to find. How to scan down a site and how the hacking minigame works will be explained in the following. So, you have a ship, the right modules and the skills. Now you need to actually scan down and pinpoint a cosmic signature. For that, you use the scanner probe window. You can open it with the default shortcut Alt-P when you're in space. Here you can see a map of the local solar system on the right and your scanner window on the left. Cosmic signatures appear as big red spheres on the system map. Your scanner strength, deviation, and scanner time appear at the top of your scanning window. To launch your scanner probes, use the buttons at the bottom left and they appear on the system map. Move your scanner probes by drag-dropping them so that they cover the entirety of the cosmic signature. To adjust the size of the pattern, use the slider at the bottom. Once your probes cover the signature, hit the Analyze button and your probes will start a scanning cycle. As a result, the signal of the scanned signature increases, its sphere moves and gets smaller. Repeat the process until the signal strength reaches 100%. The signal will turn green and a warp-in button will appear. And here is what it looks like in action. Once you warp to a site, you will find several containers. To access the loot inside, they need to be unlocked with a relic or data analyzer in the hacking minigame. By activating your analyzer on the container, a window with a grid will appear. The aim of the minigame is to move along this grid and find and destroy the system core. You can only unveil nodes that are next to already explored nodes. Whenever you activate a node, a small number will pop up. This number tells you that there is something of interest within X number of the nodes. This something of interest could either be helpful or something negative like a defensive subsystem, or it could be the system core. Remember, the aim is not to reveal the entire grid, but to find the system core and destroy it. At the bottom of the window on the left you can see a virus. It has two different attributes: virus coherence, what you might think of as the virus hit points, and virus strength, the damage it can deal. Any subsystem you can find on the grid, including the system core, also has its own hit points and damage values. Let's go through a list of subsystems you can encounter. The easiest ones are firewall or antivirus subsystems. They are simple roadblocks and you cannot explore past them. By attacking them, your virus will do its damage to them, and if the subsystem is not destroyed, the subsystem will then deal its damage to your virus, comparable to a round-based fighting game. If your virus reaches zero coherence, the minigame is failed. Another subsystem you can encounter is a so-called virus suppressor. As long as a suppressor is unveiled on the grid, your virus strength will be reduced by 50%. The most dangerous subsystem, though, is probably the restoration node. Once unveiled, for every action you take, be it exploring a new node or attacking a subsystem, the restoration node will increase the hit points of a random unveiled defense system, thus making them stronger. But not everything you unveil might be bad. You can also come across utility subsystems. Think of them as helpful items. Most commonly, you can find self-repair systems. For the next 3 actions you take, they add 7 coherence to your virus. Another one is the kernel rod. By activating it on a defensive subsystem, this subsystem instantly is reduced by 50% in its coherence. Next up is the polymorphic shield. The next 2 times your virus would be taking damage, this damage will be completely absorbed, no matter how high it would have been. which makes it quite useful in dealing with antivirus subsystems that deal a lot of damage. Last but not least, you can find a secondary vector. You activate it on a defensive subsystem much like the kernel rod. Once activated, for the next 3 actions you take, the defensive system you choose will take 20 damage. These total of 60 damage make the secondary vector quite useful in dealing with virus suppressors that will always have 60 coherence. You might also come across data caches. These data caches are inert and do not block your way on the grid. They can be revealed by clicking on them. When they are revealed, they either reveal themselves to be a utility subsystem or a defensive subsystem. Personally, I tend to leave those caches be due to the risk of springing a trap on myself. Here you can see an example of a successful hack in the game. A helpful guideline of where to explore on a grid is the so-called rule of 6. A node that is surrounded by 6 other nodes is always safe, unless the system core is in one of the 6 neighboring nodes. That means if you seek out areas with multiple nodes that have 6 connections, they are always either safe or reveal the system core, which is our final target of the hack. Now that you know how to scan down a site and hack the containers inside, I shall leave you with a few pieces of advice. Remember that you are not in a combat ship and you are a juicy target for others. For safety, you can only rely on your speed and awareness. To stay safe while scanning down a site, either cloak up or warp around the solar system. Always keep an eye out on your local channel and descan. If you explore the same area more than once, prepare bookmarks around the area and its gates. Never warp directly from one gate to the other if you're in low or nullsec, because you might be caught in a gate camp. And most importantly, expect to lose your ship. That valuable cargo you just hacked out of a container isn't yours until you're actually docked up safely in a station. That concludes this introduction to exploration. For more information, you can consult the EVE University wiki, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out via the EVE Uni Discord or the in-game questions channel. Fly safe, everybody!